Yo, yo, what's up, all you devils? All right, how we doing here? Happy Friday. So, I've been digging around looking for some things to share with you here. Of course, we're going to start at Bitcoin. Let's start on the weekly, right? So, any reason to make any changes here? Let's get that out of here. For the time being, right? We're still sideways. A lot of rejection wicks as we come down here. There's the anchored VWAP on the weekly. Again, as I've done the last couple of weeks here, because I think any trader has to pay attention here. Here's U.S. election. Here's inauguration. As I've said, I think it's going to be crazy town there. So be mindful of that. But there's no reason right now to be altering this count here, right? The probability here that we're getting here, even if we were to have some sort of craziness down here, this seems like, not inevitable, but very high probability that we're gonna have new highs. But can we do it before the end of the year? I don't want to be tied to that, right? The truth is, nobody knows. I don't know. You don't know. Nobody. Anybody telling you no is completely full of shit. Nobody knows, right? So we can just look at this here and say, well, what's the path of least resistance? Well, we'll get down to the technicals here, but obviously we've been, this has been a lot of sideways here. You see all the volume profile building here. Can we bust through that? Well, it's going to need a catalyst. I'm still a little bit cautiously, viewing this. Here, before I get off the weekly, just this note down here. I'm looking at the MACD. This is, I kind of like this one. This is Ichimoku, for any of you that like that, right? This is without having all the lines on, right? You're just we're breaking above the cloud here. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, would like to see that MACD cross. Well, here I just highlighted, I did this last week. Well, this is the last time we crossed. Pretty good result. When we cross down, starts the downtrend. Now we got a little sliver here, so we're above the cloud. We're starting to move higher. We're going to need a pretty good rip here. So let's go. Let me pull that back here. Let's go over to, this is a 4-hour, and I'm over here on BloFin. Right, this is our sponsor here, so we are encouraging people to trade here. We're doing a lot of competition. We're working with them, right? Essentially, right? So a lot of competitions that we're doing in our Discord here for people to get bonuses and things. We've got a new one we've just launched, right? So anyone who would like to participate in that, or, whether you're interested in BloFin or not, right? That might be just a little bit of a reason to come over to our Discord, right? It's totally free, right? Anybody in our Discord can participate in this. There'll be links underneath here if you wanted to come in and get involved with that. Okay, right. With that said, right, so I got to give our sponsor a little bit of a nudge here to encourage you guys to click that link, take a look. Right, it's a very good exchange. Right, I've been trading like crazy on there. We're very happy with it. Okay, right. So here, this is the confusion, right? What are we doing here? Right. So I'm down to a 4-hour here. I think this. Oh, here, I'll pull this off just for a second, right? Just to stay clean on this. This would appear, as I look at this, of course, I'm back and forth with my team here. I would tell you there's some of the best Elliotticians, if not the best, you'll run into anywhere. So I think this seems to hold solid. So an ABC into a WAB, we're able to play the 5 here to give us an X wave. Now this is where it gets really tricky here, but it does give us pretty precise. I mean, amazingly, it's actually amazingly precise for a flat. Now what's the downside of that? Is a little bit of a compromise. Do we have an impulse here? Well, it's just a free fall, right? So. But what's striking, right? For a flat, we want to see the B wave here retrace 90% of the A, and it's literally to the tick. Just astonishing, right? Now, let's get it right on that pivot. There we go, right? So it literally tags the 90%. It's just amazing, right? And then what do we do down here, right? We go to the negative 23.6, right? I'm not suggesting that's an algo, but perhaps it is, right? Pretty amazing that we go right to that pivot. So with that established, right, that we have we could certainly call, we're here, we can do it this way. We can certainly call all of this a flat. 3, you got to do it, A, B, C, right? Again, right to that 90, waterfall. So we have a 335 there, which gives us a Y. Now, everybody and their brother is starting to get bullish on Bitcoin here because of this price action. I've been saying this through the whole correction here, right? I'm as bullish as anyone long term. as an Elliottian, right, with that, you know, constantly in my brain, I just can't get bullish on this. I can't do it yet. Now, let me emphasize yet, right? If we start to really plow through some of the resistance up here, obviously I'm going to change my tune. But as it sits right now, this looks to me like we're just doing a series of threes to put in a second X before we come down here for the Z. So we get a triple. There, I mean, I see a lot of people suggesting this, that we've gone, you know, it's so fucking ugly. It's not even worth doing, right? I mean, this is a 3, that's a 3, that's a 3, that's a 3, right? So we're, you know, you can say, well, fuck it, right? I want to buy, I want it to go high, right? But if you're a disciplined technician, that's how do I want to say this? I just would be very cautious about buying here on the assumption that we're going to put in a final low here. Now, this is, you know, this area here has been really pretty substantial resistance, right? So we look all through here, and I'm going to assume, I'd like to think, right, that I don't even have to draw it, right? Well, I should have done it so many weeks. You understand why this was such resistance here, as we've just poked through here. But let's just so we're clear on this, just to kind of word to the wise here. Let's get our right. So this has been the golden zone, right? So from the high. Now you look at that and you say, well, wait a minute. Here's what I was expecting, right? So if we go here, oh, we broke, right? But remember what the algo does is it goes back to the next pivot. Oh shit, we broke again. Next pivot, right? That's why we stalled right here, right? And you know, the last couple of weeks I've been saying, I wouldn't buy that. Now you can say, well, you know, look how little you know, right? It's blown right through. Well, okay. You know, my point is never that it can't get through, right? For everyone that breaks, right, that holds, there has to be one that breaks every single time, without exception, right? That's just duh, right? So okay, so now we're getting a little squirt through here, but it would appear that we're doing one of two things here. If we're going to complete an impulse, right, A, B, C, that would be, again, it would be another flat, 3, 3, 5. You could do it as a WXY as well, because it's such a series of threes. You could do this as a WXY. I don't think it matters, right? It's a series of threes. So let's just keep it simple. 3, 3, 5, right? Another flat after this, 3, 3, 5. I know, right? It's not what I want, but it's what the market is implying, right? So we again, as I say pretty much every week, the market is under no obligation to follow any pattern or do anything. It just, what does it typically do? Is this the kind of launch you would anticipate? Well, again, right, there is a way to do it here, but it's really just awful, Elliott, right? And for Bitcoin, I'm just not prepared to encourage anyone to buy right here. If anything, right, what have we just done? We've had a little, now this would be a change of character, but it's a structure break. So what do we anticipate? I've been saying this for a long time, right? But you know, there's always going to be someone who's going to say, "Oh, fuck it," right? I want to buy it. Okay, well, you made a little money if you bought that high and said, well, I don't care about that golden zone, I'm buying it anyway. Okay, well, you got a little nudge there, you got a little turtle head. Okay, we'll see, right? Is it a head or is it going to turn into soup? Well, no matter what we think, right? If you're so bullish here that you're just going to ignore all of this, right? Or maybe you don't, you're like, oh, fuck the Elliott, right? I just, it's going to go, right? Everything I read on my feed, everything at Twitter or X or whatever, everything is bull, right? We're going to 100,000. We're going. Okay, right? I'm not trying to discourage you from doing anything. I'm just encouraging you to look at the chart, right? What is it? Every chart is telling a story, right? What is the story here? Well, okay, we're coming in. Part of the story here is we're going to get tested. Okay, so we got tested right here to break that 65 from the all-time high. Okay, well, what's next? Well, we've got a big order block sitting up here. And of course, right, if we complete there, oh, come here, we'd have, God damn it, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, right? Completing this flat, which would set up that X just... there'll be retail buying here because up, right? They only buy it when it's going up, right? Which is, of course, the exact opposite of what you want to do if you want to have success in the markets, right? We don't want to buy it while it's going up. We want to wait for a retrace, right? Now, there are times where it's going to be like, oh my God, right? The thing won't retrace. sooner or later, at some degree, there will be a retracement to give you an opportunity. Now that you can have to wait a long time for that. I mean, look at when we were doing this. Are you waiting for the retrace? Wait. Oh my God, it's not going to retrace. Oh, or actually, is it going to retrace? Oh, I mean, even when we have these waterfalls, sooner or later, right, we hit a point of the bulls say, okay, that's cheap enough, right, and up we go. Not to belabor the point here because we've been over this for Jesus fuck. What it was. This is a long four, right? It's been a long wait, right? And we're constantly trying to look at this and say, what do we got, right? So the last thought was, boy, it sure is setting up to make a nice triangle. Well, okay, we've just blown out here, so we're likely no longer have a triangle available to us, particularly since this is starting to look like an impulse, right? Now you could do it as a WXY, but we're too high here, so the triangle idea is, unless we were to have an abrupt sell-off here, I think we're probably put that away, right? So we can eliminate possibilities, which is a positive, not a negative, right? So, okay, if we're going up here to complete a 5, well, no matter how you slice it, if we're going up to complete a 5 and we get a retrace, okay, that's good news for a bull, right? I want the retrace. You want the retrace. You don't want to buy it up here at all-time highs. We want to wait for, again, think discount premium. Where do we... I say this every week, right? I feel like I can't, duh, right? Okay, right? So if, am I in log? I'm not in log, right? So if I just do it this way, right? So here's discount. Do you want to buy it up here at full retail? Do you want to trade with the retail traders? Well, have at it if you do. I can't do it for you, right? I'm just going to encourage you to be careful doing that because what we want is a retrace. Now, let's say you think, fuck the Elliott, right? That shit doesn't work anymore, right? Which is a common perception, right? It's ridiculous, but common. So, okay, well, here's a higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low. Oh, I've got an internal uptrend. Well, yes, of course, right? Any impulse is a series of higher highs and higher lows, right? So, right, we can get 5 and get up here and turn. Well, we can look below. Oh, here, I've got this one again. RSI coming up here. Now, again, use your eyes, right? What happened the last time we got up here to, what are we on this one? 70, sell off. 70, back to the, broke the 50. We got up here, back to the 50. Again, right, the indicators, it's just math, right? But indicators are always right. Always. There's never been an indicator that's not right, as long as it's coded properly, right? Are we? Here it is, right? Now that doesn't mean that it can't go higher. I mean, here, obviously, right? We can go higher. It's just, again, it's much like buying it at retail. Do you want to buy it here when it's over 70? Okay, right? But you might, and you might get away with that. But maybe wait for the retrace to the 50, right? That's a better way to trade it. Just a suggestion. All right, so let's go down to a 60 and see if we get any clarity here. Again, let's assume that you're so bullish that you just don't care about this, right? And you're just like whatever. Right here, I've got an internal uptrend. Okay, well, if we do complete, right? If you put a little Elliott on this, if we're going to complete an impulse here, what are we anticipating after the 5? 5s and 3s, right? That's the genius of Elliott, right? So if we complete a 5, and let's say you're like, okay, I don't care about any of this. I don't care what it's done historically. I don't care about the 95 years of precedent. I want Bitcoin to go higher, so I'm just going to be balls to the wall buying it. Well, okay, good for you, right? But if we're going to complete the 5, wouldn't you anticipate? I mean, how many times do I have to show this, right? We go up here, we're going to come down for something like this. Let's assume we get the 5 and we start to retrace a little bit. What are you thinking? Well, of course, one thought is if it's an X, you're thinking possibly an A. B, right? C, we'd be looking for this a little bit lower. So you'd anticipate a bigger move here, A, B, C into a Z. Perhaps we come down here to the support and then we launch. Again, here's an election inauguration. Big window here. Okay, but let's say you think, oh no, I don't care. Again, I'm going to ignore 96 years of precedent. Okay, so I'm going to just go, I'm going to do it this way. What do I think? I think this is a 1, right? Or let's just call it an impulse. Impulse, the majority of the time is corrected by a 3. Now, it doesn't have to go to the golden zone, but we might anticipate that. We've got a nice unmitigated zone right here, which we could call a demand zone, right? We got this little down. This is bullish order flow right before we go up. Now, you could probably refine that down a little bit because it was partially mitigated. So you're right here at the golden zone. Yeah, man, if that sets up like that. Now, part of this will be a function of what do we get here? Do I get a 3? Do I get a 3? Well, that would be, potentially, okay. Well, it's not, we're not going to get a zigzag if we have a 3 here, right? Right? Maybe we get a 3, 3, 5. Maybe we get another flat. Well, that means that we have to get a 90% retracement here. You see, there are these conditions here that can guide you in ways that, again, it's 95 years of precedent, right? If we get a 3, 3, okay, we could have a WXY come down here. Oh, shit. A, B, C, right? Another flat. If we get a 5, if I get a 5 coming down here, let's just consider that. I mean, this is the, you might say, oh God, this is boring, right? But this is the beauty of Elliott Wave. If I get a 5 down here, what am I thinking now? Well, if this is a 5 and this is a 5, right? Again, we don't have this, right? But if we're just kind of playing it through, if this is a 5 and we break the golden, what are you thinking now? You're likely, I would suspect, you're thinking A, B, C. Zigzag to complete the Z, right? To give us the final 4. Right into the election. Right, that context, right, should guide you. Oh, well, again, I'm assuming if you're watching one of my videos, right, you're at least applying Elliott video. So that context should guide you. If I get something, oops, if I get a 3, all right, we know we're not going to get a zigzag, right? So right now, what we're looking for here is some sort of a pivot up here. We got a key level we're coming to. How do we react here? Right? I'm not saying by any means that we couldn't just blow right through it. I'm just saying that's, at this point, seems, if I had to give it odds, right, it would be 60-40 against, right? It would be much more probable that we complete this 5 and then we come back for a retracement not because the market's obligated, because that's what it usually does. Right? We want to trade the percentages, right? Majority of the time. How about I say the majority of the time, if we could complete a 5, we can expect a correction. I know, right? You want it to go higher. Anyone watching here, right? It's pretty much crypto bull, Bitcoin bull at the very least, right? Is looking for it expecting it to go higher. Okay, well, let's just don't make careful decisions. All right, that's probably enough on Bitcoin. Well, I went kind of long there. Okay, hang on a second. All right, let's move through some of the similar, some of the counts that we've been looking at here. So, Solana, I'm just going to touch on briefly here because it looks almost identical to Bitcoin. Well, you see here now we haven't blown out the triangle here, so we still have the potential for this to roll over. So if Bitcoin were to start to roll over here, you could this triangle Y for the 4 in Solana could come into play. Now again, I'm not saying we couldn't just launch here, go up and take out the new highs, right? And we'd have some sort of 1, A, B, C, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. But so much has to happen, right? Let's get these out of here. If this is here, we can do it this way. So let's do it this way. Come here, fucker. If this is 1, which, okay, does that look like 5? All right, but let's say you don't care, right? 1, 2. So let's finish that. So you're going to go 1, A, B, C, 2. Well, okay, I got a 1, 2 working on, I could have 1, 2 working on 3, 4, 5. A lot has to happen here, right? That blows out the triangle. Now you're back here looking at this thinking, okay, wait a minute. This is my low? Well, now you're back to, God, if I got to do this as a WXY and this has got to be an ABC, that doesn't quite work. This looks like a good 5. This looks like a good 3, a good 5, a good 3. Right? You find yourself in a corner here where you're like, well, boy, that looks like the most probable outcome here. Right? Now we've got some imbalances here that are about to be tested here. Again, if it blows up, might we reevaluate? Right now, that's still in play. And yet again, right, whether if I put I don't even have to draw a premium discount. You're in the premium here. If you were trying to buy this because you're a bull and you're thinking, oh, 1, 2, 3, 4, wait for the 4 at least. Now, what have you got? 1, 2. Well, that's not going to be 3. That would be one of 3. So that would be extremely bullish for Solano, right? So I'm not rooting against that. I'm just saying, careful here, right? If you did nothing else other than discipline yourself to only buy discount, only sell premium. I know it's easy to say, right? FOMO is a very real force in the market, right? You don't want to trade with emotion, and that's a simple way to restrict yourself, right? So, oh God, I almost bought that, but then it's in the premium. Something to think about. Okay, there's Solano. Let me keep going. Oh, I'm just going to touch on this really quickly. I think I've hit this a couple of last week, maybe the week before. Just to, again, for those of you that are, well, I know there's something there. This is ALGO Rand, right? Of all the cryptos, right, literally every pivot here is a golden zone. Well, or a 50. Golden, target, golden, 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 right? 6 years I've been showing this, right? But so we can look here and say, well, where are we in this count? Well, this would be an unusual finish, right? If we're going to start here, how are we getting out of here? Again, it looks like it's a series of 3s. So it's not so much that I'm here saying, okay, time to be a buyer here or a seller. I'm just reminding you how dominant this algo is. You literally, I can't imagine anyone's watched 2 videos of mine over the last 6 years doesn't have that on their chart, right? You simply have to do it, or there are people buying right into that don't know it's there. I promise you, right? Just like they were selling into that. Okay, let me. That was really not. I just got sidetracked there. Dogecoin wasn't the one I wanted you to look at. Okay, it looks like we're on the move here. I'm on a 2-hour here. Let's go out to a 4 here. I'm back on BloFin, right? So we don't have full history here because that's when they hit trading view, but we can see the full impulse here. Now I'm out of log scale here just to demonstrate. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, because if I can do, you can do it in log scale. It's not dramatically different. But I thought once we come down here, well, we've got a WXY, so we get a good finish here. And then we get the higher low, and it looks like we're going. Now, this also has the expanded B that was so much a part of what we've seen across the alt space. So we can do this because I can actually get a 5 here rather than so many of them where there's just, it's a force fit, right? So I can go A, B, C into a 2, and then I've got a decent launch here, 1, 2. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, right? You see, it's just not worth the compromise. If you're like, oh, fuck it, so it's not a 5. That will come back to bite you in the ass, right? I promise you it will, right? If you just go, oh, because then what are you doing, right? You have no plan. You're just trading emotionally. You have no discipline, clearly, right? You're like, oh, fuck it, right? That's first clue. Did you check your trading plan, right? Do you have a trading plan? Do you have any rules? Do you have any discipline the way you're trading, right? You just go, well, fuck, I saw something on YouTube, I'll buy it. You're not going to make money that way. Not maybe in the short term, but not over the long term. You won't. You can take my word for it or just learn the hard way. Okay, right, so we can do 1, 2. Well, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I got another 5. Little 3. It's tiny. A, B, C. 1, 2, 3. So it looks like the subdivision is there, right? So it looks like I got 1, 2, working on 3, 4, 5. Let's bring that something we can differentiate. Oh shit, I guess I got to go all the way. All right, so now that'll work. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Trying to get to 3. Let's raise that one. Trying to get to 3, 4, 5. Oh shit, I guess I got to take you up. Oh, that'll work. Okay, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We're trying to get 3, 4, 5. All right, all of this still way yet to come. Right, for Doge, if it's really going to go, well, that's a pretty good rip there, right? And we're coming right into the imbalance here. We got a good shot here. So you would draw a second set of. Oh, shit, we can barely get them. We're going to have to start pushing it up here as we pull this back, right? Just to keep the channeling alive, right? To frame it. Right? Always a good idea, right? It will serve you well. So I got 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. Oh, bull. Now, do you want to buy it right now? No. right? Just happens to be, right? You know, here I'm on a 4-hour, a few hours before starting this video here, we're getting a pretty good rip. So where's the next opportunity, right? We want to wait for the 4, right? We want to buy retracements, not breakouts, right? If you want to survive long-term in the market, right, you can either, again, take my word for it, or you can learn the hard way, as I did, right? I didn't want to take anyone's word for it. I had to learn it myself, right? That was a very expensive approach to the market, but some people are like that, right? They just have to learn themselves, right? I'm just trying to save you a little time and a whole lot of money. Learn from my mistakes and my stubbornness. Okay, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, right? If this is 1, 2, and that's not going to be the end of it. If we go up here and do this, that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 still to come. Lots of upside here for Doge, right? But did we break it? Yep, we've broken it. Now, what's the algo going to do? Right, you know the answer to that. It's going to go to the next pivot. Where are we now? Get you right on there. Where's the next resistance? Oh, that could just line up perfectly right here. I don't know that we're going to get through that. I wouldn't anticipate that we would without a bump. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 3, 4. Then we get through. Then we got a big fair value gap to deal with, right? The market will be drawn to that imbalance, right? It's looking to rebalance the imbalance. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of 3. Long way to go, right? That could be the one way, right? If we're going to have a true crypto epic bull, this could be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of 1 as we get to 20 cents. See, this is the kind of good price action here. Now you look at it and you go, oh, fuck, man, thanks a lot, right? Why didn't you tell me two days ago? Well, you got to pay attention, right? You got to apply it, right? I can't do this for you. So, but I can look at here. So get this on your watch list, right? If you like to trade Doge, which many do. But don't buy this. You're buying right into a 50, right into a fair value gap. Don't buy that. Wait for the retrace. All right, hang on. Oh, another alt to get your eyes on, or at least get to your watch list if you haven't already got it there. One of my senseis here, Wonka, is he turned me onto this one. We were able to buy it down here under $4. Got a nice run. I've got a little bit left, but started pulling some profit as we started to approach this. Now, okay, 1, 2, 3, 4. It looks like we're heading for a 5. Okay, right. We don't have a pivot up here yet. That's the obvious liquidity right here would be something that you would anticipate the algo would be going for, right? So sweep that liquidity, which happens. So you can see this at every pivot, right? Just as they did here, just as they did here, right? Sooner or later, right? You're going to get something like, oh, okay, well we swept the low. Here's the retrace. Oh, something changed. Lower low, lower high, lower low, lower high. Okay, well, so if we're going up here now, I don't have this, right? So I'm just doing a little projecting here, but this should be on your watch list, right? Come down here, right? If we complete this 5, again, I know it seems like ridiculous. God, dude, stopped 5, 3. Yeah, we get it, right? Well, do you? Do you get it, right? Are you going to have an alert set here for the opportunity to buy it there? Assuming if you got it, you're not here watching, right? Unless you just come for the ideas, which I suppose is a reasonable way to do it. Okay, on your watch list, right? This was, by the way, if I even have to do it, 50. Oh, I think out of log scale, we were at a golden zone. Well, either way, right? We got 50 golden zone right in the pocket. Here, you don't need to be in log scale here, right? Because our low here is $3 and the range we're looking at is $5, right? It's not 4 times the range. So you can stay in arithmetic here and just trade this as you normally would, which it's much preferable when you do that, as you don't get the distortion here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. It looks like we've got legs to keep going here. Where's the opportunity, right? We wait for the retrace. Now, it may not make the golden zone. It may only make the 50. It may not make that, right? But you've got to look here and say, okay, because what would you anticipate? That's what you're looking for. Same thing on the other side, right? There's always the same algo on the other side, right? It's very easy to forget it when you get so excited about a bull run here, but you have to remember that. That's why A, B, C. Right? You can trade the C, and then you can trade that on the way back. Okay, that's Cosmos, right? Again, that's thanks to Sensei Wonka. He gave me a nice trade there. Hang on, we'll keep going. Okay, this was on the Altfin's hot list, right? Of things that are on the move. This is Sushi. You get $1 on Coinbase. Here you can see again how beautiful the technicals are here. It's just striking. So we can probably all agree here. We have an impulse, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, right? Again, I'm out of log scale, right? I'm going from 44. Yeah, we probably want to look at it in log scale, but the if I'm not forced to, I always prefer arithmetic, right? Because I don't get that distortion. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I don't think any dispute. I know it's Elliott Wave, just bullshit, right? I know, but there's a nice 5 followed by a 3. Right? Oh, you could do this WXY, right? Fuck, it doesn't matter. Right, it's just simpler here. I'll just do it as a 3 into the low here. What do? We come right into a little demand zone here, which is the origin, right, of this whole move. We come back to it, tack it. Okay, 1, 2. Now, this is the kind of shit that I talk about, right? But I have to show it to you, right, so you get some conviction in. From this corner, we know this, right? This is a corner pie. I think this is only a 50, right? So I don't think it's a golden. I think it was just a 50. Maybe it was, right? Oh, shit. It's just a couple of ticks in front of it. Okay, well, so we go. Yeah, it is a golden, son of a bitch. That's a tick or two off of it. A couple of ticks off of it here. Here's the pivot. So we're a slight front run on the golden zone here. Now from this point right here, we know that as long as, again, I've been saying this for 6 years, as long as this pivot holds, we have an 80% probability of making that median line. Look where it does it. Now, what's right here? That's the 1618 of this golden zone. Why is it just a couple of ticks short here of hitting that 1618? Because it launches a couple of ticks short of this 618. Just misses, but gets just far enough, tags the median line. Shit, I can't make up. I can't Photoshop that. I've been telling you this for 6 years. This is the highest probability trade, bar none. Period in TA. That's the highest probability trade. This is the least used technical tool in any charting platform with the highest odds. If somebody can explain that to me, I'd love to hear it, right? To the tick. When it was here, you said, oh shit, it's never going to make that. I don't teach and preach and pound on these things for my own health. I'm doing that for your benefit. Right, so the next time you see this, well, shit, could it? God, whoa, right. So would it make sense to take a partial here? Of course, right. We want to take if you get that push, right. I want to take a partial here. Any signs of weakness here? Any signs of a retrace? Nothing. Whoops, nothing. We're just literally. This is all algo driven, right? That's an algo getting that. That's not Billy Bob crypto. Oh, pushing the price till we get to that median line. That's all algorithmic. Retrace, right? Pings it. Retrace. What else is there? Order block, right? I've just extended this order block here. So if I pull that back, right there's the order block that started the whole thing. If we come back to that, you can anticipate, right? A little resistance. And what do? We get the resistance right as we hit the median line, as we hit the 1618, right? So all of that is in play, right? We know it's trading incredibly technically. We'll kind of push this off to the side here. So we have that ping, right? So now the 80% is burned, right? You only get the 80% one time, right? So let's be mindful of that. So I've got a good candidate here for 3. I don't know for sure that that's the top, but I got a nice looking 3. So what am I looking for now? All right. So okay, what would you do here? I got a 1, I got a 3, I got a 2. Right, of course, that was the foundation of the median lines, right? So we're looking for something here. I should change the colors. That's a inverse fair value gap, right? So it was a fair value gap here, didn't get broken here. So as we go above it and come back to it, right, we have this is one that I use a lot. You guys have seen, right? So if I take the inverse off, right, now you don't see it, right? So it's inverse, right, which is one you want to pay attention to. That's why I keep them on there, right? So you want to kind of know whether I should change the colors off because it looks too much like a supply zone. But to break that and come back to it, it's actually demand now. We've filled the imbalance here. Now, if we come back to it, there's a little fair value gap down here. So ideally would be right here, right? Which would be on the edge of the channel. So what are we looking for here? Again, I can't give you a trade every week on a Friday, right? But I can get this on your watch list. Okay, if we pull back here, heads up. 1 for your watch list, right? Don't let this one slip by, right? That's a beauty. Absolute beauty. Now, even if you take it to log scale, right, it doesn't change it, right? You're still looking for that 4, right? Now this changes. The geometry changes, which is annoying, but this is the reality of dealing in log scale, right? You got to do it that way. 47, yeah, you pretty much have to, right? It's 4 times the range, so you know, I go back and forth, right? Because it's annoying, right? That it distorts things, but it's okay, right? It doesn't matter, right? I can see an impulse. I can see a 1, 2, 3. Now, is there any possibility this could be A, B, C, X? Absolutely. This could be W, X. Could be. Nobody knows, right? So we're playing the odds. Okay, there's that one. Now, what else do I have here? Hang on a sec. All right, I popped up AltFins over here, right? You guys know this is, I'm a big fan of theirs, an early investor, and recommend it highly, right? If you wanted to support the channel, if you're not a member or just wanted to do it because of the content, right? This is, you could, if you were interested in this service, you can you click our link, which is in our link tree. So this is one of their filters in their screeners here. I'm looking for crypto that's got some actual revenue. So I'm looking down the list here, and I saw DOT and ARB and ICP, right? ICP's got a big kick here, but big drop in the near term. So, and then LDO also in the near term, right? They're making some money here. Most of this is trading revenue, right? So we'll see here. So it had me looking for those 3. So let me push this off here, and I'll show you what I came up with over here. So this is, well, that's sushi here. So let's go to ARB here. So let's start with Arbitrum, right? We can start right here, start right in the middle. So similar count that we've seen, but here again, I get a 5 here. A, B, C into a deep 2. And then it looks like I get a 1, 2, 3, 4. It looks like the same kind of thing, right? Now I'm coming right into a decisional order block here. It's not the origin, right? We'd be way up here, but this is where market's got to make a decision, right? Because we have some supply here. So we're nice looking impulse, right? What would we anticipate here? Well, let's do a little measuring here. This is where the measuring can be really important. So if this is the 1 and this is the 2, right? Where are we looking for the 3? Right here. So wait a second though. Well, there's 2 ways we could get there, right? We could have, if this is 1, 2, we could have a 3, 4, 5, right? Now, again, the market's not obligated to get up here. It's just where they usually go. 1, 2, 3, 4, extension in the 5th. Remember, 3 doesn't have to be the longest, just can't be the shortest, right? So 3 is clearly longer than 1. So 1, 2, 3, 4, extension in the 5th. Could I get to that 3? Well, then you'd have these, oh shit, you can see the imbalances up here. Fair value gaps right here. We've got a series of them. Oh, that's actually, well, that's tapped, right? So let's go to the one that's untapped right there, right? So this one's untapped, right in the pocket. All right, well, if that's going to be 3, 4, 5, we don't know, but right, we can make a reasonable, here we'd have to start here, right? We've broken that. So once we get the 3, once we get this completed, then we slide it up. But we don't have that yet. So right now, this is just looks like it's going. So by certainly one thing we want to be mindful of, that we don't want to be a buyer here. What did we just do? We swept the liquidity here, right? We can see that. We swept this. Okay, we want to let this complete. Now, if you're just, you know, hungry for a trade, well, you kind of missed the first pullback. You think that's technical? Already to and through first target. Get it right on there. This is clearly the 4. Into the 4, we go sideways, right? We're now progressing the trend. And 4 is the easiest thing to spot. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. A, B, C into the 4. 1, 2. Right? Could we get a 3? If we do, right, it's right on track to get there. If that we get to a 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, extension in the 5th. Again, I don't know that that's coming. I can just map that out and say, well, shit, if it gets there, I'm sure I'm interested in the 4. I'm sure I'm interested in the 4 to get me out of there. I guess I can use this. Oh, fuck. I can get my drift. Something like that to get me up here to the 5. Here's my 4. Ideas, right? I can't always give you something, right? Buy it right now going into the weekend, right? Often that's not a great time to do it, right? Because the volume's lower. But I can certainly tee you up with a few things to get on your watch list. Right, so that's ARB. Let's go over to, who else was on this list? Internet ICP, if you'll, oh shit, let's get them over here. ICP, right? They big dump here, but over the last 30 days, they're making some decent money, right? And so here's market cap to total revenue here. You get some sense of these. Some of these, right? They're too small for me. The market cap is too small, but DOT was worthwhile. Filecoin's worth. ARB, Internet Protocol. Let me put that off here. So let's go. Here's ICP. Let's go look over here. Right, how's it trading? Right, is it technical? There's an 8-hour. Is it technical? Okay, all right. So let's take a look here. Right, so here 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Right. I know, Elliott. Right, doesn't work anymore. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. A, B, C, golden zone. You know, it's all I ever do. It's all I ever do in these videos. Right, is show you Elliott Wave landing into. Algo zones, right? I mean, this is, you know, I've been doing this for so long. I feel like, God, man, get a new story. But like, that's not the point. The point is to be making money, right? You know, maybe these videos are boring because it's the same thing over and over again. That's the whole point. Bore you right into wealth. Okay, so we got a candidate here for a 5 off the low. So here's the 5. Here's the ABC golden, right? Then I get a 5. I come back. This gets a little funky here, but let's look in there, right? Because oh shit, looks like you've got a slight truncation in here, which is unusual, but okay, there it is. So here we get, after hitting the golden, we go straight up in a 5. Then I come down here. Now it looks like I'm launching here. What do I hit? Again, right? How could you not have that on your chart? How is that possible? If you've watched 5 of my videos, of course you're going to have it on. Okay, we come down here. You would be anticipating that this is going to hit here. After, oh shit, here. After doing this, we're going to come down to this direction here. We're going to come down and get the target, right? And break this gold. And you're thinking, oh shit, we're going to sweep that? Maybe we sweep it here and then we start to launch, but no, right? We go back the other direction, right? Again, this is all the market ever does. Gold and gold and gold. It's just algo, 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 right? So we go algo, we drop. Oh, it's just kind of looks like we swept the low here just by a couple of ticks. I get a wick through golden. Now, golden again, already to target. So could this be the 2? Well, I suppose A, B, it looks like you got a little diag into the C here. It's not a great start. But when I get this, okay, now like heads up, right? Because obviously, right, the algos are driving this. Duh. Obviously. Okay, 1, 2, right? Oh, I got first target. So if we're going to get out of here, what do I got here? 1, 2, am I doing 3, 4, 5? Well, I don't know, but certainly it's a contender. Oh, let's put it in blue here. 1, 2, 3, 3. Where's the pivot? Is it an algo? Do we even have to wonder, right? We don't have to wonder. Was this an algo? This an algo? This an algo? Yes. That's. You see, the point of that, of me showing this to you over and over and over and like, oh my God, dude, I still, is that you don't have to take my word for it. All I'm doing is just proving it to you over and over and over and over again. So you hit one of these goldens, you're like, you know, right, if the context is right, I think I'll take a trade there. Now, if you get stopped on the first one, you know, take 100 or back test 100. See how it works out for you, right? You're back testing, right? Right? 1, 2, right? Waking for 3, 4, 5, right? We're looking for that up here. That's all we're trying to do is just follow. Right? You can do this yourself, right? Sweep the high, right? What that would have been a little micro break of structure. What do we anticipate after the break of structure? Retrace. Where's the pivot? Golden zone. What did we just do? Broke structure again. What are we anticipating? 1, 2, 3, 4, right? Is that going to be, that's easily, could be the 1 of the 3. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, right? That could easily be the 1 of the 3, right? Because we're trying to get up here for a 3. Well, it's not going to do it in a straight line. Well, not likely to do it in a straight line. So if, right now, we don't know for sure, but if that's 1, 2, and this is 1, 2, 3, you know how it goes, right? Just a series of 5s and 3s, right? If you just were to focus on that, I promise you, your results are going to be better, right? But again, it takes, people are so easily kicked, blown off of something that was legitimate. Oh shit, I did 2 stops. Well, that shit doesn't work. I hear it all the time. There's ICP. Okay. LDO. All right, this was, I think, look back here. This was a big moneymaker, right? So at least in the over the last week, right? So a lot of trading volume here is going on here. Right? Had me looking over here. Well, let's just, again, okay. Well, let's go look at it. Oh shit, where'd you go? Come here. Okay. Oh, what I want to do is back up a little bit. I'm over on Coinbase so I could get the history. Jeez, I didn't even check this. I know you're not going to believe me, right? I didn't check that, but I mean, I can see him now, right? Okay. Probably same thing on the downside. Do you see that, guys? I mean, what more do I have to say after 6 years? What is there something more I need to say about it? I'd like to think not, right? So what happened up here? Break of structure. What do we anticipate after a break of structure? Retrace. I'm not trying to make it sound like, oh God, trading is so easy. That's never, ever, ever. This is the hardest, easy money you'll ever make. But we can identify things the market does repetitively. You could literally look through the last, I spent about 6 years of videos I've done. There's not a single video I've ever done that was not dozens of these, dozens. I can't trade it for you. I can just reinforce it week after week after week. So occasionally you might say, I'm going to see if I can get one of those. Right, if you're consistent, you will. Okay, so what do we got here, right? So we can call this 1, 2, 3. Fuck, here, let's take that out of log scale. See if that gives us any other clues. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, that's not beautiful, is it? Well, we can't call that, or well, we can't look at this and say, well, that's good now, right? We'll just call that an impulse, right? No, it's not. It's not an impulse, right? We didn't get an impulse. We got a zigzag is what we got. Now, you take note of this up here. That's not relevant here because we've already broken through here. Let's go to log scale because I think that's a better fit here given the range, right? Remember, if it's 4 times the range, you need to go into log scale. So 80, what do we got? 420 here. Well, we should probably be in log scale, but if we come back over here, let's go down and drill down into it. See how we look coming off the low. Okay, things that we want to look for a good low. Oh, I'm on the daily here. That's fine, right? So things you always want to look for at a low. Did we sweep the low and grab all the last bit of liquidity, right? For the last little holdout bulls who put their stop 1 tick under, boom. That's why you don't put it a tick under. You got to give it a little breathing room, right? Just for that very possibility, right? Because they do it by the, I don't know, millions every day. Every day, right? If you include every asset, every time frame, millions of times, right? Those pivots are swept, and then that's the launch point, right? That's how they do it. Okay, right? So we get a sweep, then we get a 1, 2, right? So the key point here is that it's not the sweep, it's that what comes after it, right? The sweep is validating the pivot up here. So if we go, you're thinking, oh, lower low. What would that be? That would be a break of structure. What happens after a break of structure? Retrace. So you're sitting there thinking, oh shit, I remember, yeah, after a break of structure, right? You're anticipating the retrace, right? But you don't get it, right? That's the clue, right? That market has changed, right? We have a change of character, right? As it's called, right? We get, oh, higher low, higher high. So what happens right here? Now, I know technically, right, it's not a break of structure. That's a change of character, but it's a break of market structure. Think of it that way, right? Sometimes I think people get too caught up in, oh, is it a change? Is it a chalk or is it a boss? It's a change of market structure here, and it's a sweep of liquidity. So look at this. You guys, you have to, I'm sure you do, right? Now, it's so pervasive in any TA that you're watching, right? There's 20 million videos on YouTube is going to teach you the same thing because that's what the market does. That's what the algorithms are doing, right? They're going to sweep the low here, and then look what they do here. They sweep the high, right? Where's the liquidity? External, internal. They just rotate. External liquidity is grabbed, internal liquidity is grabbed. Now, where's the next bit of liquidity? Now, that could be a fair value gap if it's internal, if there's not an obvious pivot here. So let's go down to a 4 hour. Okay, how does that look coming off the low? 1, 2. Oh, yeah. Well, 1, 2. 1, 2, 3. That sure looks like it's four material, right? Oh, let's get this off of here. right? 1, 2. Well, let's measure it, right? When in doubt, we're like, shit, I needed a 3. Well, let's measure it. Could the 3 be here? 4? Right? Well, here's the, again, now we don't know with certainty. Where do they usually go? Where's the highest probability location? What does the data teach us? Well, they usually go between 1618 and 175. Where do we go? I know this shit doesn't work anymore. It's got to be all the ICT. Elliott Wave is so last century. 1, 2. Now, this could keep going. I'm not saying it couldn't keep going. Because that's a little bumpy here, right? But it's a candidate, right? So if we start to roll over, you're going to go, oh, 1, 2, 2. That's kind of ugly. Because I don't get a clean. Let's go to a 60. I don't get really a clean impulse here. Yeah, you might be able to do it this way. Let's see if we can make that fly. 2, 1, 2, 3. Yeah, I know. I'd put it up here, right? So this, I think this internal count has room to be adjusted. 1, 2. Well, we got to put another. This has got to come down a degree. Bear with me. Here, we'll get this sorted here, right? So we've got a candidate here for 1, 2, because that's the deepest retrace. I wouldn't do it here. Actually, I might have to do it here. Can we get 5 out of that? I think you have to do it there. It's a little bit of a squish there. Okay, so let's get the other degree on this. So this would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We got to go up a degree. Oh, blue's fine. All right, so, okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. A, B, C into a 2. 1, 2, 3, 4. Don't like the 2, but that's all the market's giving us. Yeah, you're kind of stuck with it. Right? So we can keep going, right? So we can go 1, 2, 3, 4. Looks like it's still flying for, let's go all the way down. Oh, something bright here. So we can go into yellow. A, B, C, 1, 2. That's getting crowded in there. Whoops, sorry. Getting crowded in there. 1, 2. Shit. I'm out of degrees. 1, 2. Oh, don't want to do this here. Let's go 30. See if there's a little extra in there. Yeah, looks like I can do it. Here, I'm going to take that off. Hang on. Get off there. One, 2. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2. Jesus. 1, 2, 3, 4. I need another degree. Oh shit. Let's take you up. Sorry. Let's put that in green or something. Okay. 2, 3, 4. 1, 2. 1, 2, 3, 4. That's still going. So that's still got legs, right? This is a high class problem if you're a bull, right? We got so much to work with here. So things that I do just habitually, right? I always do it, right? So I want to wick off these ones just to keep track of them, right? So there's a double. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2. Again, I'm just following along here. I'm just this is not me, right? This is just me applying Elliott Wave, right? Any of my senseis would do it, very similar way because we're applying what we've studied and been taught, right? That from Elliott's genius, right? Now there's interpretations, right? And certainly there's some subjectivity to how you're counting waves, but for the most part, this concept of working through 5s and 3s is going to serve you well in the market, right? If you'll stay with it, right? But again, we're so quickly, oh fuck that, I didn't like that. So do it for 6 months, then reevaluate. Look at your numbers. Now that means applying it with some knowledge, right? So I'm not saying just wing it or use a piece of software. I'm saying learn it. Boy, if only there was a place where you could learn it, right? Well, there's lots of places, and now shit. When I started, there was not many. Now there's a gazillion, right? So, but if you like my style and the style of my senseis, right? This is a place where you can develop the skill set, right? Because it is a skill set. Right? If you want to be successful in trading, I'm not saying you need to apply Elliott Wave. I'm saying watching me do this, right? If that's appealing to you, well, we can give you the skill set. Right? We can teach it to you. And then ultimately, the market is where you solidify it based on your experience with it. But we can teach you how to analyze the chart, right? That's the easy part. That's the fun part, right? You hear me say this all the time. That's solving the puzzle. That's the fun part. Right? Assuming it appeals to you, right? Because it's not easy. But it's not brain surgery, right? So, okay, right? It's achievable. Anybody can achieve it with study. Then it takes experience. You got to look at it, right? You got to take a while before you're fluent with it, just like learning a language. It doesn't come immediately, but it comes with repetition, application, study, experience. Again, this is the fun part. Where it gets real is how you manage your emotions when you're in a trade. That's the difference, right? The TA, 1,000 ways to skin the cat. But ultimately, how you respond to the stress of money at risk, that's what determines, right? That's the next skill set you have to master. And that some never master. All right. So, okay. All right. With that said, what do I got? Did I get everybody? I think I did. Let me check. Oh, shit. Oh, I'm at an hour. Holy smokes. How did I do that? Okay. Right. Well, I guess I'll wrap it here. Okay, guys. With that, we'll see. Right. It's going to be interesting going into the next month as we see the equity markets all putting in, what do we have, 42, 43 new all-time highs in the S&P. Interesting times. Okay, guys, with that, I'm going to wrap here. I was going to go into the S&P, but I'm already at an hour. Shit, I went too long here. All right, so I'll have these in chapters, right, so you don't have to sit through all of this. Okay, guys, have a good one. I'll catch you next week.